Well, no job is easy. We got the problem that the rail doesn't come off, and you can't use heat or you can't use a burner because it destroys the paint. So I tried to make the center hot because it's aluminium, so it's expanding quicker than steel. I tried WD-40, it's so stuck. We'll come back when it's loose. Oh, it's still trying, but it absorbs a lot of heat. That's the problem. Give it a whack with a big hammer, but on the tile, not on the wheel, and then we'll see. So 20 minutes later, just let it heat soak, and it came off. Look at that damn corrosion here. That's really bad. That's not been off for a long time, but yeah, it soaked the WD-40 in. It really helped. Let me get that tire out of the way here. Yeah, I guess the brake disc isn't loose either. It's pretty stuck. Yeah, brake disc is stuck as well. That amount of corrosion, I've hardly ever seen so much. Yeah, look at that. Brake pads are down to minimum. The caliper pins are completely dry. Quite sticky to get them out. And this side has a lot of corrosion, and also this thing here doesn't look right to me. This is completely out of alignment. I think the bushing is completely gone, so that's gonna be a new one. Look at that. It's just displaced somehow. That's not right. Yeah. Check what it is, how much it is, and just buy a new one. Because they come with the joints, but honestly, they're so cheap. Just buy some new ones. The top ones, they look fairly okay, but the front ones not. And these are actually the alignment for the wheel, so the wheel is probably not properly aligned anymore. Just another one. And the shock is still dry. Well, we're gonna fit a new one anyway. Okay, let me get the caliper off, brake disc off, and have a look at the drama. Welcome back. It's now 2 days later. We got the rear wheel bearing here, which is a complete unit. Even comes with the bolts, which is nice. Nicely packed. We've got the control arms. Let me unpack those. Shit packaging again. It was loose in the packaging, and the Hermes lady said he was flying around. I should check if everything is there, and apparently it was, so it's okay. Anyway, yeah, I think we need to paint them a little bit because they are really messed up here. It was all loose in the packaging, so I don't know what's wrong with suppliers nowadays. Today is rear wheel bearing and control arms, and obviously the rear brakes. I think I didn't film the other side as much, so we probably take some more footage today. At the moment it's raining a little bit, so I'm not really willing to go out. Yeah, we've got other stuff to do. So we got the shock out. Top bolts are easy, bottom bolts was really sticky, but with some leverage it works. So we need to remove that control arm and also the wheel bearing. Before you try to loosen it, brush it clean and soak it a little bit. There's a Torx on the back, basically from this end. is also the plug for the ABS system, and so you need to unplug that because it comes as a complete unit with the ABS sensor and everything, even with new bolts. So let's find the right tools and give that a try. So we got the first one out. These are the bolts. You need to clean the inside very carefully, otherwise you can't get the socket in far enough. They're really tight and obviously rusty because they're exposed to the elements here. A bit of WD-40 and obviously a long leverage arm helps. That's number one, so another 3 to go. So last one is out. As you can see, they're quite rusty, so yeah, I could do with a little bit more penetration, but they were tough all the way out. So now we need to get the bearing off. It's stuck as well, so we need to break a bar, bigger hammer, because there's a recess and that's obviously dirty, rusty. You got to be careful because the smaller ones will fit as well, so you're wrong. This is a T50 and that's the one which fits. The new bolts got an outside torque, so you need a socket rather than a key. No, it's pissing again here. Yeah, we need to get that off. It just needs a few blows with a hammer. I'm gonna get a head blow hammer and give it a few whacks. Otherwise you can always use a bolt, put it on the rear and push it out with a puller or press it out or whatever. It's gonna come loose at some point. So here it is, and that's the reason why it doesn't come loose. It sits on that, in that hole here, and it's just tough because it's all rusty. And then yeah, you need to get the stuff off. Obviously we paint the brake shield a little bit. Just give it a few blows with a hammer and it comes out. It's just, understand, someone wrapped around something here. Anyway, let's wait until the rain stops and then we'll come back. So we checked dimensions and it looks alright to me. What I didn't check is the length of this one here. That's about right. It's a bit shorter on the back actually, and also when you order these you gotta be careful. Some Ford Focus models got 4 studs, and I think some of the lower powered Volvos as well, I'm not entirely sure. So make sure you got 5 studs, but this looks alright to me. You can see here, this is a bit shorter than this, but the whole pattern does fit. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna, yeah, that diameter is 75 inch. Yeah, that's alright. Here you can see it, it's quite a bit longer actually. Look at that. But doesn't matter, it will fit because the whole pattern is the same, it's just a bit shorter on the back. Who knows? Maybe the wheel encoder is a different style, I don't know. It's got the right recess and everything, so will be good. So here we have it. The rubber is really end of life here. It's pretty soft. Yeah, that's very well worn out. Okay, so we got it out. Just let's clean everything, spray it down with some paint, and then reassemble it. I got a strong feeling that these rubbers are, these top arms are the same issue. Yeah, but I don't have them right now, so I'm not gonna do it. Don't know how the bottom ones look like. Everything's got 148,000 miles, so yes, there is some wear. But this one was really bad. So we painted it and we're just fitting that new control arm. You need to pump that up a little bit, otherwise you're not gonna get it in there. It's a bit tough. So this is flexing, so you can move it back and forward. Yeah, and then just find the bolt hole and pray. I decided to put the rear first because it's harder to get there. Here it's easier to align the hole, and then you just pump it up to make it a bit more in line with the go a little bit further in line with the other one. Otherwise you need to bend the bushings. The old ones are super soft, so that's easy, but the new ones are a bit stiff, so it needs a bit of force, and I need a plastic hammer to get that in. And then you just tap it in all four directions, and you should be on center. So make sure you grease the shaft of the bolts, because that stops it from corrosion. And then just tap it a little bit until you're fully in, and then just tighten it up. Okay, let's do the inner one, and then find the torque wrench, torque it up, job done. So all back together. It's hopefully flexing a lot less. We still need to do the other side, because the other side looked better, but once we're there we'll do it. Before you mount the shock, make sure you put the wheel bearing in, because otherwise you can't get there anymore, because the shock is right in the way, so it's a bit painful. And if you stick in the bolts first, the new ones which come with them, the socket is an E12 Torx. With Torx, always make sure it's snug fit, because the next bigger one will fit, but obviously it's the wrong size. So you stick in the bolts first, then put the brake shield on, and you see the whole pattern is not symmetrical. You can't go wrong really. Okay, it's in. We need to find the torque spec. Not sure if the torque spec is the same as the old one, because they're different bolts. Once you finish, just put a dab of copper grease on the ends, and then you'll get it out a lot easier. Then put some copper grease here, put your brake disc on. Same, I have some copper grease in the bore and on the back, so it doesn't it shouldn't corrode, because it may come out at some point. You never know, because these things are not lasting as the original ones. Alright, and once you're finished, don't forget your ABS plug, which is here. We just give it a little bit of a blowout and some silicone, because silicone displaces water. And then, I don't know if it's visible, you need to get the plug, and well, you can't see it anyway, it's about here. So then put a thin layer of copper grease everywhere, and fit your brake disc. These are coated discs, so you don't need to clean them off. But the copper grease stops it from seizing, because the other one was badly seized. And also when you put the wheels on, make sure that end is a little bit greased as well, because otherwise you're running the same problem. So we need to wait until the bracket is dry, because we just painted that. We're gonna do the shock in the meantime. There are some special tools out there, but all you need is to hold that flat end and then just use a spanner and turn it around. Can't do that with one hand. So that's all. Take it out, replace the whole thing, put it back. Clean those off, because you got plenty of dissimilar metal corrosion, because this is aluminium. You can see it's actually really dusty here. So clean it off, grease it a little bit, put some grease on, stops it from rusting or from corroding. And once you're far enough out, you can actually use a flat spanner. The problem is that the nut is in the hole, so you need some sort of angle spanner. But this works now. Now it's far enough out, you can hold it, just turn it around. So here we have it. Just pull the nut, pull the top, here is your old corroded shock absorber, which there's a little bit left but not much. Anyway, and obviously the new one goes just in reverse. So here we got a shock absorber reassembled. Bolts go like that. It's up there, it's hard to see probably. Only get them started, because otherwise you're running out of trouble with the shock absorber if you haven't got a jackson underneath. You may have some fun with the bottom bolt, so only get it started and then put the bottom bolt in and tighten the top ones up, and then you will. So, and then just rewind the pistons, clean the caliper pins, use some blue grease and put them in. Stops them from seizing, and as said before, don't use mineral grease because it dissolves the rubber. Okay, yeah, we just need to get them in 7mm hex, screw them in, job done, everything is back together. Before you put the wheel on, grease the wheel as well on the inside with a little bit of copper grease. Stops you from getting dissimilar metal corrosion and having fun to get the wheel off. So we greased it up, brushed it clean, and then hopefully the wheel will fit. It's always a good idea to put a little bit on the studs itself, because otherwise they are dry and yeah, this wheel needs work. The problem is, if they change wheels they use the wrong sockets and they're too large, and then it's rubbing off the paint, which is a pain, but no one cares here. Anyway, let's put it back and do a test drive. So everything done, it works, drives nicely. It rubbed off the coating as it should. Need the center caps, need to put the center caps back on, clean the wheels, and then this job is done. There's more to come. Lifters, a couple of other things, but that's gonna be it for from this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time.